In this video, I'll talk about unsaturated solution, saturated solution, and supersaturated solution. Subscribe the channel, watch the video until the end. Based on the amount of dissolved solute in a solution can be classified into three, namely unsaturated solution, saturated solution, and supersaturated solution. Now let us define solubility. How much a solid can dissolve in a given solvent at a given temperature is called solubility, or it answers the question of how much solid can dissolve in a given solvent at a given temperature. Experimental proof is that 100 ml of water can only dissolve a maximum of 36 grams of sodium chloride at 25 degrees Celsius. Once again, experimental proof is that 100 ml of water can dissolve a maximum of 36 grams of sodium chloride at 25 degrees Celsius. This beaker contains 100 ml of water at 25 degrees Celsius. Now let us add 5 grams of sodium chloride in 100 ml of water and let us dissolve it, and finally we make a solution. That solution we call it unsaturated solution because it contains less amount of dissolved sodium chloride. Now let us add again 25 grams of sodium chloride and let us dissolve it, and we form a solution. But that solution we call it unsaturated solution because it contains only 30 grams of sodium chloride. This 30 grams of sodium chloride is less than 36 grams of sodium chloride. Therefore, this solution we call it unsaturated solution. Now, let us add 6 grams of sodium chloride. Now, the solution is changed from unsaturated solution to saturated solution because it contains 36 grams of dissolved sodium chloride in 100 ml of water. And again, 36 grams is equal to 36 grams. That's why we say this solution, we call it saturated solution. This saturated solution cannot dissolve more sodium chloride. Even this saturated solution cannot dissolve 0.0001 gram of sodium chloride. Now let us consider the second beaker, which contains 100 ml of water. But in the second beaker, the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. So 100 ml of water and the second beaker can dissolve 39 grams of sodium chloride at 100 degrees Celsius. Means that the saturated solution can dissolve 3 grams of sodium chloride in addition to 36 grams of sodium chloride at 100 degrees Celsius because of what? The temperature. Because of what? The external factor. Here is the external factors. Temperature. We increase the temperature from 25 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. That makes it can dissolve additional 3 grams of sodium chloride, and such solution we call it supersaturated solution. Now let us define each type of solution. Unsaturated solution contains less solute than the maximum amount that can dissolve at a given temperature. And this property, unsaturated solution contains less dissolved solute. It can dissolve more solute. The system is not at equilibrium, and this state is stable. Now, the second types of solution is saturated solution. It contains the maximum amount of solute that can dissolve at a given temperature, and its property contains maximum amount of solute. The system is in equilibrium. Additional solute remain undissolved. If we add additional solute, it's remain undissolved, and this state is stable. The third types of solution is supersaturated solution, it contains more solute, and opposite to unsaturated solution contains more solute than the normal possible at that temperature, and its property contains more solute. The state is unstable, and small disturbance causes rapid crystallization. This is the property of supersaturated solution. Now, how can we determine whether an unknown solution is unsaturated, saturated, or supersaturated without knowing how much salt was originally added? Explain the reasoning behind your method. To determine the type of a solution, add a small amount of the same solute to a solution at a constant temperature and observe what happens. First, if the added solute dissolves completely, the solution is unsaturated because it can still dissolve more solute. If the added solute does not dissolve and settle at the bottom, the solution is saturated, meaning it has reached its maximum solubility at that temperature. And such solution, we call it saturated solution. If adding if adding the solute causes crystal to form suddenly throughout the solution is supersaturated. This happens because supersaturated solutions are unstable, and added solute triggers excess solute to crystallize out.